Peace, family. Welcome to another episode, UGR TV. Out here, late night Bronx edition, man. Red and blue pill. Yo, man, I haven't been up here in the Bronx, man.
It's Jurassic Park, B.
The Bronx still look like the Bronx. Harlem don't look like Harlem. Brooklyn don't look like Brooklyn.
Fact.
But the Bronx looks like the Bronx.
This is New York. This is our birthplace. You know, we was born here. So, peace, God.
Peace.
Peace, family. Peace, God.
How y'all, man?
Peace, God. What's good?
What's up, man? Out here working, man. Everything good?
Yeah, we out here. We out here cooking.
Yeah, so we out here in the Bronx, man. Good organic energy out here. Good organic energy. I want to talk about me and Blue been on the metaphysical stuff lately. Blue been talking about UFOs and shit, Red. You missed it.
Yeah.
They came and they got them. Dropped them off in the Bronx.
Facts. I do bear witness that he hit that 444 in the head when we was in Virginia, though.
Oh, man.
Oh, we didn't even speak on that on camera. Can you tell them what you're talking about?
We did a lecture called The Conscious Industry in Norfolk, Virginia at the House of Consciousness on Saturday, August 25th. In Blue Pill segment, he closed the lecture. It was Red Pill, Blue Pill, Professor Griff. Blue closed it, and he closed it talking exclusively about 444, along with the divine feminine and other aspects. And the lottery that night definitely hit 444.
That's the universe's way of saying you want the money.
Exactly.
Jackpot.
Not only that, and Blue dedicated that lecture to Mama Pill, whose birthplace is in Norfolk, Virginia, in the month of Virgo in Virginia. You know what I mean?
It was on the full moon, which was a Pisces full moon, and somebody hit me with the National Geographic footage where they got the red moon that rised in Greek in front of the Poseidon temple that was built in 444 BC. So Pisces is Neptunian dealing with Poseidon, and that was, you know, when I be going into my 444 information dealing with the World Trade Center.
Oh yeah, I bear witness.
So let's get started with the conversation for today.
Yes.
Everybody's talking about this interview with Lebron. He got a show on HBO called The Shop. I know the LeBron haters, they're like, these niggas is talking about LeBron again. Oh, I hate these.
Slip your wrist, yeah.
But they gonna watch the whole video just to complain. I mean, hey, who knows?
Just to complain.
But hey, but
disclaimer,
listen.
like the brother said, at the onset, we're talking about LeBron. If you don't like LeBron, I have no idea why you would stick around for this video.
Indeed.
But you might, you know, they might have some commentary.
Right.
This has extended into outside shop talk. So yes, let's go.
Indeed. Well, I mean, the talk focused, you know, they talked a lot about race during during this particular episode.
Yes, they did.
Everybody's so more outspoken when it comes to race these days. I mean, it's not. I don't know if we could attribute that to Trump. You know, maybe Trump is emboldening everybody to be more open about how they feel about, you know, the racial issue in America. Is it safe to say that's the biggest issue in America, race?
I think that you know, the conversation around race is a perfect storm because it pretty much at this point in time is proven that it's a referendum for Trump's presidency. You know what I'm saying? Whether melanated people knew it or not, Caucasian America, white America, if you will, you know what I'm saying? This was their clapback. This was their clapback to what they felt was 8 years under a melanated president and how they felt about that. You know what I mean?
And it was all about race during the Obama presidency, but the only difference is you were not allowed to talk about it. So what Trump did is what anybody would do who was playing the game of, you know, duality. Well, shit, if you made it taboo to talk about race in 8 years and silently or quietly, everybody was supposed to be quiet because what? We moved on from the race conversation. They said we were in a post-racial America. So what they were telling Americans, rather black Americans,
slaughtering.
Yeah, is that being that we gave you what you wanted was a nigga in that seat, we now have the opportunity to move on. Trump came along and said, no, we're going to talk about this whole race thing because we know that that's a trigger.
Yeah,
and that's
so
a hot button.
Let's rewind the times.
Let's rewind the times.
And he gave you his version of his barbershop talk. That's what we're bearing witness to every day, right? They say that this is the conversation that takes place behind closed doors. What did Skip Bayless say? Skip Bayless says, I couldn't sleep at night because I was exposed to a new LeBron, right? And this is what LeBron sounds like behind closed doors.
And what is one of the biggest fears of what people call the dominant culture, right, is the fact that this messianic force or these messianic figures or these niggas who we know, who we've domesticated through contracts and through other means, right? When these niggas are on the field amongst each other, because when they congregate in barbershops, because that's the only place where we're allowed to congregate in these controlled environments without getting tickets or pulled over and stopped. When they get together, they're gonna talk about us. When they get together, they're gonna be honest about how they really feel. When they congregate amongst each other, then they're gonna be their true selves. They're not gonna be domesticated. And there's a fear. He said, I couldn't sleep at night. Once we were exposed to what was our biggest fear, that this machine, that this beast, that this monster, LeBron, one of the biggest influential athletes to their children, is not a square nigga.
This person who I have helped promote and propagate for my entire career. This is Skip Bayless talking.
This is Skip.
You know what I'm saying? This guy that I promoted and I went to bat for him with the MJ conversation.
Facts.
He said what? I was exposed to the real LeBron. And I couldn't sleep at night.
He deceived me.
Well, he didn't say that.
No, he didn't say that. I'm giving you the psychosis behind the conversation. It's drenched in white fragility. Okay? It's drenched in white fragility. Hold on. We were crucified early in our career for seeing the greatness in the man that they call King James. Facts. We've done multiple videos as he began to unravel, and reveal himself
A 44
to the
resonator.
populace. But we already saw that. Why you think we was talking about LeBron for? Years ago, we already saw it. We saw the messianic potential. We saw the force. So when we pointed that out, niggas was like, "Oh, he's a coon. It's impossible." Oh, coming up with all of this shit that don't got nothing to do with the fact that you have to give our people time. You have to give our people because it's all about timing. It's all about evolution. It's all about growth. Pardon me. Go ahead.
Well, some people might be unaware of some of the things that was said. Like I said, the race came up a lot.
Yeah.
And one of the things that LeBron said that got everybody talking and people scared, some people happy, is that he said that he had to learn how to trust white people. He said that when he was in high school, he didn't mess with any white people. He didn't trust them, and it was a gradual process. He didn't think they had his best interests at heart. He talked about the double standards of being a black athlete and what the white athletes get away with.
Right.
This is a more vulgar LeBron, a little more profanity laced than what people might be used to seeing, with the family man, the family image.
Right. As Skip said, this was raw LeBron.
Raw LeBron.
Yo, Skip is a funny dude, man. That's a funny dude.
It's all coded language.
I finished watching this and I went and told my wife, I just saw the raw LeBron.
I saw naked LeBron.
Yo, Skip is a funny dude, man.
But what would Skip Bayless's barbershop talk look like? What would Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady's barbershop talk look like? What would J.J. Watt's barbershop talk look like?
Well, before you get into that, what I just said, he had to learn to trust white people. Is this something common? Is this something isolated with LeBron, or do you see this as something common among our culture where we grow up not trusting them and we have to learn how to trust white people through working in corporate America?
I think that LeBron was from a different era, our era, per se, and not the post-racial world that some of the millennials might have grown up in.
The internet world?
The post-racial world, yes.
Post-racial.
The internet age.
Internet is a part of that.
The Generation Zs, or what do they call them these days?
Z's.
Yeah, them guys. So, for a brother such as himself who grew up in a very marginalized society, right? The tale of two Americas. He grew up in a segregated society of Akron, Ohio, where he said, look, I didn't know them from the sandbox. I didn't know them from the playground. I had no interface and interactions with them. And he grew up in a society where the people, his elders or what have you, told him stories about, look, these people are not trustworthy, right?
Yeah.
And he grew up under that. He grew up under that level of indoctrination. The same way across the tracks, how when they have no interface and interaction with you, they're taught the same thing.
Facts.
You dig what I'm saying? So this particular merger of societies normally takes place in high school settings. Let's stop acting brand new. When these children, especially the ones that go to school on athletic scholarships, get buffed away and they go to schools, whether they be
Catholic
junior high
schools,
school or high
yeah.
school, Catholic school in particular, this is the first place that they have interface and interaction with the very people who they consider to be taboo because they don't know anything about them. You dig what I'm saying? So this is what we're talking about. This is socialization, period. Why would they be trying to hang LeBron out when this is America? This is America, y'all.
Facts.
You feel me?
He's only keeping it real and honest.
He's keeping it
especially
raw.
from a black athlete standpoint. Now, like you said, there's people in corporate that can relate. There's people in industries that can relate. But LeBron is coming from the standpoint of the black athlete, that we go into these spaces, we go into these white spaces where we were coming out of our box. The box is the hood. We were taught and we were groomed and we were reared to only know who we are and to know that, you know, we were amongst ourselves, and law enforcement,
your
social
environment
workers,
is a terrain.
Yeah, your environment is a terrain.
You have to
so
master that terrain.
that's right.
What time do you have to develop an education about a people who are a non-factor in the mastering of a terrain? And
Survival.
you know, that man, from what I understand as a child, he was, you know, in a single-parent household, correct?
Facts.
So, you know, it's double hard in that particular situation for a young boy such as himself that's not, you know, doesn't have the benefit of being reared by a black male, a melanated male for that matter, that he has to really master his terrain, be there for mama, you know, do all the things that's required of young men to do in order to make it out of the hood. And then you get these overtures from scholastic institutions that now want to heap praise on you and treat you a way in which you're not familiar with. And then a lot of our young children go into these environments and they get duped, not knowing that they're being rocked to sleep because they're being looked at as a meal ticket. And then they hit him with the Becky and it's over.
So what he did say in that statement as well is that they didn't want to see him win. His attitude towards them was, yo, they don't want to see me win. So me and my team, we going in to win, right? So his mentality is, they don't like me, but I'm the star athlete and they need me for the chip. I'm going into this society, I'm going into this space. I don't like them, but I'm going in there for the scholarship and the chip. So they once again, he shows from an athlete standpoint, right? The relationship that a lot of from corporate America all the way down, the relationship that we have with these odd fellows and these strange people and whatnot, who we see some of the discrepancies in their behaviors and, you know, the things that they've been doing to our people and whatnot, but you have bills that have to be paid, right? There's an industry that you want to take over, so in order to get into that door, you're going to have to go through these people and whatnot. So he said, I began to think that they just want to see me win, or did they want to see me win? He didn't say that verbatim, but he said that in that way was, you know, these white people who are a part of the school, they're rooting for me, but the white people all around America and other places, if I'm not on their team, I'm not shit. Only if I'm a part of that state or that college and whatnot, those white people love me. But outside of that, I'm a monster. They looking at me crazy. When I go to the away games, they calling me all of these names and whatnot. So, you know, This is something. It's like like the boys talked about the double consciousness.
Du Bois.
Yeah. The double consciousness, and that exists in a lot of players. That exists in a lot of rappers. Yo, I know that our black people are going through some social ills, but guess who goes to all of my concerts? Guess who buys all of my albums? Guess who packs out all of these super stadiums of ours? So, you know, he's not speaking in an anomaly. He's speaking for a lot of Negroes who just not having that conversation. You know what I mean? Do you trust them out of convenience, or do you really trust them? Do you love them? Are they gang because they did say that his teammates said at the end of the year, all of that melted away and everybody was buddy. You dig what I'm saying? So.
You know, this funny, him saying this comes a week after. I remember they said, you know, just speaking of sports and, you know, things related to this, Tiger Woods, they asked Tiger Woods about Trump. Tiger Woods said, you know, whatever we do, we have to respect the White House. We have to respect the man in the White House. Like Tiger Woods, man, ain't no waking up that dude there, man. That dude is sunken place all-star, bro. Like
That's
Hall
right.
of Famer, bro.
That's right.
But just, you know, a lot of double standards. A little bit off topic. The whole situation with Serena Williams and, you know, them saying she can't wear a certain the cat suit.
Yeah, the cat suit.
You know, I think that it's a direct response to the level of magnetism that she creates. You know what I'm saying? And she's going to, you know, she's gonna cause. She's a disruptor in a good way. You know what I mean? Don't take that word out of context. Meaning that when Serena's playing, they know that they're not focusing on the game.
That's right.
They're focusing on the curves. They're focusing on the jiggle.
That's
they're
right.
focusing on, you know,
That black cat suit.
Yeah, that you know,
Form.
That form.
That's right.
And it's the same thing on the side, you know, of what the brother's talking about in regards to people that are jogging, right? They're gonna become petty patties and call her up, like they're gonna call 911, like, yo, this shit is disturbing me. You feel me? It's the same thing we're seeing with all of the petty patties and everywhere. Europeans, because of what he said, this mentality now that they feel that they're part of or strictly have this dominant society, they want their niggerism presented in a particular way.
That's right.
All right? And they are playing fully their hand of white privilege in a way in which they never had an opportunity to do so before because of the state and the place that we're in. You know, does that speak to their supremacy? Not necessarily. It speaks to their fragility.
It speaks to the realization that Skip Bayless had, right, when he saw LeBron and he witnessed and he saw the Muhammad Ali archetype versus the Orenthal James archetype. They were betting on that, like they bet on the whole pantheon of what they call $40 million slaves. You know what I mean? Once they're media trained, once they're contracted, once they have a father figure who's usually silver-haired European, right? And they call them pops.
Sandusky, right?
They call them the Sandusky types. They call him dad. They call him pops. You know what I mean? He speaks to him.
I.e. coach.
I.e. coach, and they speak to them in his fatherly wisdom, meaning that I was at the zoo the other day. Yeah, I tamed this nigga. I got him. If he ever gets out of line, is he safe?
Before we cut this
Customado.
$90 million contract,
Is he safe?
is he safe?
You know what I'm talking about? So
he
the
had to have the check
realization
from day one for Nike to cut that contract
Facts.
to know, is he safe? They're not gonna, you know, throw bread to somebody like that they consider to be radicalized. So he spooked them,
he spooked them.
and that's why they're so spooky right now.
So when you listen to the dog whistle that Skip Bayless is blowing, when you understand the coded language that's being used, he's telling white America, look, my niggas, I done spotted a black extremist. Okay?
Now,
he has the archetype. He has the Muhammad Ali
See,
archetype.
y'all don't know what I'm talking about.
Nah, we don't. So he has the Ali archetype.
Skip.
He reminds us of Kaepernick, that other uppity Negro.
That other ungrateful Negro.
Yeah, so with the influence,
We gave him millions.
and
What's that
remember,
conversation?
remember when we speak about the prowess, the physical prowess of of LeBron James, when we talk about the fact that he is a machine, the female version of that in sports would be the Venus of
Serena.
It would be the Serena Williams. She is also a machine. She is also, you understand? She is also, so in a way that whole catsuit thing, because she's in their bag though, because she's married to one of them. So, and not just a regular one of them, one of the owners of Reddit. A white supremacist, a white, fragilicist, you know what I'm saying? Platform. So they're just like, yo, take that off. We don't want you to wear that to the, that's basically just, that's a different story.
Okay.
They just playing her.
Right.
Testing her to see how cooperative she is. Because she took that shit off and put the tutu on. A tutu that a ballet dancer wears to say what? I'm on my tippy toes and I don't want no smoke.
Yeah, I'll dance for you.
I'll dance for you. Not just dance, I'll prance for you. So our brother and our sisters and the fact that their melanin threatens what is known as white fragility, white inferiority complex. Your melanin, your physical prowess, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing laid it out perfectly. Neely Fuller lays it out perfectly. It's right in our face.
Well, a lot of people, if you see what's going on, a lot of people, and if you read the YouTube comments and just in the media, some people feel as though LeBron speaking out about this type of things and this going viral is a liberal agenda for divide and conquer purposes, so the elite can stay in power. But this is a liberal agenda. You'll see this word, though, this word thrown around a lot. Whenever you talk about something black now, that's some liberal shit. So
Thanks, Kanye.
Yeah. What would you say to those who say anything that happens race related now is a liberal agenda?
Well, I mean, automatically, because of the infusion of politics into race, they are making this distinction between red and blue. So automatically, if anybody's caping for anything melanated, it automatically is going to get paint with the blue brush.
The blue brush.
And what they're trying to say is, look, they're bleeding heart liberals. The only reason that you niggas have the ability to talk like this is because there's some white motherfucking liberals caping for you and allowing you and giving you talking points, like Kanye would say, right? You're just using liberal talking points. You feel me? You don't have a mind of your own. And you wouldn't have a platform of your own to even speak like this if it wasn't for some good bleeding heart liberals that made it possible. So
and that's a age-old game that they play. They call the liberals the useless idiots. You understand? It's two wings of the same bird. It's a game that they always play. So that's just part of the psyops. Like Blue was saying, it's not real. It's not real. It's them trying to identify and box in and marginalize a group of people and control the narrative by applying certain kind of talking points and diluting what the real narrative is by always implying this liberal thing, and then they get panel experts and MSNBC skewers it and spins it, then Fox gets it, and now they play the opposite. It's Hegelian dialect in so many ways, only done, but this time it's run through the media. Hegelian. Fox is on one side, CNN is on the other side, the middle is MSNBC. Some shit like that.
Well, one of the things that was also discussed is, and this is a problem that I know a lot of people go through, and we all have dealt with it in some form or fashion, and that is being a people pleaser. And how being a people pleaser and always wanting to please somebody, you end up really not being happy, not living your best life, as they say, and and holding yourself back. So LeBron said when he stopped being a people pleaser and decided to do what he wanted to do, that's when he really, he took it elevated to the next level. So talk to me about all.
Draymond said.
Talk to all the people pleasers out there who love pleasing everybody before they please themselves, because that could be seen as selfish, quote unquote selfish in this world. When you want to please yourself,
you're gonna end up like OJ.
Explain that.
OJ was trying to please everybody, okay? And OJ got a brutalizing wake-up call. I think LeBron got the same version of it, you know, not by way of an indictment. He got it by the way of the criticism. He got it by the way of, you know, his fans turning his back on him. He was burnt in a way in which where he saw, yo, this shit ain't real. These people really don't love me. So when you get that level of rebuttal, when you do everything that you can to help a city and an organization and people, you put on for these people, you know what I'm saying? And these people turn around and burn your jersey and say despicable things. They're burning effigies of you. At some point, you fall into, you have to find that love for self. And I think that his quest, he was forced to go into that place, into that cave where he had to find love for self and family, and ultimately his identity was found in that process and procedure.
In those losses too. Remember, those L's made him what? Stronger. Nobody gives him credit for coming back stronger after taking those L's. He learned from his lessons.
And he decided, I'm gonna get W's off the court.
That's right.
You feel me? I'm gonna get these W's off the court. So now that he's secured the bag and he's comfortably on a trajectory to be a billionaire, right? Whilst still playing basketball, dribbling a ball, you know what I'm saying? And this person is targeted by the president of the United States on repeated occasions. Nobody's caping for him. No one's coming as an intermediary. As an intermediary, there's no intervention in this bastion of, you know, free democratic state that we're in to say, well, hold on. I think that's unfair, Donald Trump, that you're banging on this guy, you feel me, who's the star athlete of of the century. You feel me? Like, what right do you have? So if you're exposed to the hypocrisy that has driven this man, right, to this particular point to say, look, I don't give two F's. I'm gonna speak my mind. You dig what I'm saying? I don't really rock with y'all like that. You know? And I'm like, he's not allowed to speak his truth because he was speaking of his younger years and he was segueing that conversation to say, look, I'm no longer on that per se, but he still made preference to the fact that there's still, double standards when it comes to melanated athletes and Caucasian ones. So he's aware enough, quote unquote, I didn't say conscious, I said he's aware enough to know that there's still distinct differences. And he's experienced them. And he's allowed to speak on that. Because that's what we do in the barbershop. I bet you they're going to be tuning into episode 2. Right? It was good for ratings.
Yes.
HBO was very happy. I bet you they're not in the tizzy. I bet you they're not in their feelings. This is what TV's made of. This is good TV.
And you know, it's only right. It's only right for the era that we live in, where political correctiveness has gone out the window. You understand? Cardi B opened up VMAs. You know, respectability politics are over. That age is over. The president has Twitter fingers. You understand? He's a raving lunatic in his Twitter feed.
Yo,
so
he said Jeff Sessions sound like he got marbles in his mouth when he talks, man.
So
he's banging on his.
You know,
that's his whooping boy. That's his whooping boy.
That's his whipping boy.
Jeff Sessions.
And you know, I think that LeBron definitely matured. I think he was more in touch with some of the social ills that our people have been going through. I think he's been a little more in touch than people give him credit. And he's seen the hypocrisy. And
let's take a litmus. Remember, 2015, LeBron was accused of being apolitical because they asked him a question about Tamir, because I don't have the knowledge, I'm not knowledgeable enough of that particular incident to speak on it. He said, when I am informed on something, I speak on it. He said, but that particular situation, I'm not informed of. He was playing for Cleveland though. So they was like, damn, how you gonna come back to the city and you don't know nothing about this case? So he was criticized for that, even though he donned the t-shirts. He participated in throwing the hoodie on for Trayvon, right? He has shown
He said that about the not Trayvon. He said that about
Tamir.
Tamir. Oh, that's what you
he
said.
said that about Tamir.
Okay.
But before that,
He initiated that
he
whole
initiated
Trayvon
the whole
thing.
Trayvon situation. He put the I Can't Breathe t-shirts on for Eric Gardner. So he has shown glimpses of himself, you know, being not apolitical and willing to say something and, you know, speak through gesture, speak through demonstration, if not becoming vocal. Now he's added words to that because he's a powerful force to be reckoned with.
That's
You
right.
know what I mean?
That's right. And
So
that's what you do.
are the people gonna support him? Are the people gonna realize that his demonstration again extends beyond just the court? Fuck if that's your favorite player or not. You girly ass niggas that are into men with tights talking about your team and my team, and we're not gonna have this sports conversation again. But are you willing to stand behind a man who's willing to stand up for you and be a voice? You know, like, the shit is crazy, and some people can't even receive this message once again because they're locked into, you know, I don't like this guy. He's not on my team. And he's, you know, he's being unapologetically black in his demonstrations. Like, this man, you know, is scandal free. You dig what I'm saying? He's a responsible father. He still got that melanated woman that he was with in high school, so that means he probably never been with a Becky. It's a legend.
What do you think is the drawing line, the thing where these outlets like HBO, Red mentioned earlier, you know, is good for ratings. What do you think? What is the thing that they say? You know what? I don't give a fuck how much money we can make off of this. We can't air that. When it comes to being what we call pro-black, where do they draw the line with this?
I guess at the Farrakhan documentary.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Yeah, like,
I mean,
you know,
LeBron's cloth. Remember, he was doing a show and HBO picked it up. Right? This is an original production of LeBron James
Where was he doing
production
it?
company.
Where was he doing it?
He was doing it online.
Oh, it was just online.
HBO came with the bag. So if HBO come with the bag and they say, look, you niggas need to go and be, go in that barbershop and be that nigga. Like, you don't need to be politically correct. You don't need to be, you just be you. And he went in there, he was him.
Somebody give me a mixtape.
But the bars that he's dropping will not cause the kind of ripple that the kind of information that Louis Farrakhan is dropping. And like I said, in a day and age where respectability politics is out the window and the ammo that Donald Trump and the hypocrisy of the U.S.A. and all of their white fragilists have given us. They've given us so much ammo. We can have a massacre if we wanted to. We could drive by and spray white America, Swiss cheese them with all of the ammunition that they've given us over the years. I mean, if we were so goddamn cruel, and if we were so bloodthirsty, and we were so racist as a people, we could have finished them years ago. But they're afraid of the power of certain individuals who have. Remember, this man is a leader of an organization with hundreds of thousands of members. You know what I mean? But LeBron is an athlete with millions upon millions. You know what I mean? Of followers. Farrakhan as well, millions upon millions. But it's just a whole nother different frequency is what I'm saying. LeBron has potential. Farrakhan he has potential, but he realized his potential. He's living his purpose. Now, what if we were to watch a LeBron James evolve throughout the years into an even more polarizing political figure? You feel me? What if? You know?
no, grill.
What if he was to evolve the same way that Cassius
grill.
Clay evolved? and developed into a Malcolm X? What if LeBron was to join an organization or align himself with a teacher or a thought leader or somebody who is really out there doing the groundwork, and the organization is really out there doing the groundwork and saying to the millions of children who are looking for a father figure and a role model, the same way when Cassius Clay flipped the script, he brought thousands of people and converted them into the Nation of Islam. Do you know that? When he converted, he simultaneously converted thousands of other brothers and sisters.
So yeah, we're talking about, once again, the potential of radicalizing a top athlete in a society. This is what like sets bombs off.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now they're having
That's the
meetings
fear of a
trying to
black
figure
planet.
out. Yeah, that's the fear of a black planet. They're like, is this guy affiliated? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, it's because they're bringing him to the biggest stage in the world.
Yes.
The biggest stage in the world, right?
Los
That 44
Angeles.
Resonator's going to the 44 Los Angeles. He's turning his 44 all the fucking way on. So they can't contain this potential bomb at this particular point. You dig what I'm saying? So they're terrified. Just the fact that now they know how he thinks. And it's not in line with the level of containment that they're used to from athletes. Look what's going on with the NFL. Alright? So
I guess to close it out, just tell the people, did something happen with Kaepernick? Because I keep seeing people reposting.
yeah, Kaepernick's case has the NFL brought in an arbitrator, I believe, to
dismiss it.
To dismiss it, and the arbitrator was like, "Whoa, hold on, this guy's got a case here." So he has been allowed to pursue his lawsuit against the NFL. You know, I have a good friend of mine. This brother is very politically astute. You know, but he's a hyper capitalist. And, you know, his commentary to me was that it wasn't a good move for Kaepernick because it's all about the bag. You know what I mean? We got to get to these M's, and he's like, Kaepernick left all of them M's on the table to do a demonstration that pretty much amounted to nothing. And I'm like, you know, well, in hindsight, you got to let it at least play out before you make that type of statement. But now, with this particular lawsuit, you know, Kaepernick could easily walk away with upwards to hundreds of millions of dollars in a lawsuit because they're going to have to pay him retroactively. And if he's slick enough, you know, for the period of time that he could potentially have been an athlete.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he's not only going to grandfather them in, he could get it, you know, he could get his future earnings and walk away with the killer bag and be able to do so much more internationally, globally for these causes, these charities that he has now become the front man and the face of. So, you know, things are changing. It's a different time that we live in. I think that we obviously seeing the vestiges of white fragility fall into the wayside. And it's a beautiful thing, goddammit. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed, and on that note, man, leave your contact info for the people out here.
Shout out to my brother, I Skate New York. I Skate New York, Copper Mike. Go into the Instagram, the letter I Skate NY. He got the I Skate New York challenge, all right? Patreon / Red Pillar, YouTube channel, Phil T. Moreland. Check out the Melanin Mondays.
Twin the movie is on the way. Twin the album is available. twinthealbum.com. Streaming on all of the streaming sites that you can think of. You can either put in Twin or Twin Pillars. MyPowerPieces.com.
Somebody.
SoulGoldBiz.com. SoulGoldBiz. We have an announcement coming up soon about a food establishment that I'm in partnership with. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with this organic cuisine. You know, we're out here right now in the Bronx in the food desert, and you know, the middle of the hood, feeding the people that good organic food. You know, and we have stuff for non-meat eaters, and we have halal organic food for meat eaters because we're not leaving anybody out.
Yeah,
There's
they
a health
forget about y'all.
crisis. here in this community. And I've always said, no, do not leave the meat eaters alone. Just bring a superior product to this community and compete with the Indians and compete with the Asians. Because we should not have allowed them to muscle in and take something that is so sacred to you niggas, such as chicken. Okay? So, chicken. So we here, you feel me? A lot of announcements coming up. I'm loving my life. I'm loving these opportunities. In hindsight, you know, I was just writing a post yesterday about Michael Jackson, and it dawned on me that in the last millennia, you know, everything that I have done that has been groundbreaking and transcendent in my life has been done with Virgos. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was KB the Ghetto Shaman pushing us, you know what I'm saying, to record music, or me and Black Dot,
Yep.
you know, formulating the incubator stage of what has now become the conscious community, the hip hop version. My ex, Nadra Ray with Holistic Heights, making me a better businessman, and, you know, getting that CMOS, that Seven Heaven CMOS out there, and ultimately Brother Rich, you know what I'm saying, by asking the best questions on the planet, getting his Peter Parker, no, it was Clark Kent, right? Getting his Clark Kent on and allowing us to, you know, rediscover something else about ourselves. Coming up on 20 years of journalism, you know, I ran into my dude, JP, the other day, and, you know, he informed me that we actually going to be bringing that newspaper back, Four Corners,
Woo.
you know, next year. So
Wow.
I'm excited.
That's big news.
It's interesting.
It's big news.
You know what I mean? I got a lecture coming. Like you said, it's going to be compiled from the last lecture that I did in Virginia, dealing with this whole Sirius B energy. And it's going to be titled, "Is That Your Bitch?" All right? And we're going to summarize it on the next. Me and Rich going to do another live stream. I got a lot of downloads since the last one. Thank you to the family. You know, I think that joint is like on 20,000 in 2 days. So
Yeah, they like them blue pills, metaphysical shroom live streams, shroom talk.
we're going into the wormhole.
Shroom talk.
We're going into the wormhole on that next one. You know,
Shroom talk.
the blue shrooms and the blue man. And you feel me? So, love, light. Appreciate you all. Please, for the sake of your children, especially if you have sons out there, think about it twice before you hate on LeBron. Get out of your feelings and get out of your way. This is not about his statistics. It's not about him being compared with Michael Jordan on the court. Look at that man as your brother on and off court. Look at him as a valiant, gallant warrior and leader. You know what I'm saying?
The chicken making his plug.
In the minds of these communities, you know, and you know, I don't know what else to say. Hands off LeBron. Peace, love, and light. All right. Boom.
Peace.